and welcome to another video. So that last exhaust review video, I said if that hit 200 likes that I would make another one but with boosted NCs, and that hit 200 likes within 3 days. So thank you to everyone who watched that, and thank you to those who liked it, and I am a man of my words. So here is the next iteration featuring supercharged and turbocharged Mazda MX-5 NCs. Ooh, let's have a cup of tea. So you need three main ingredients for any internal combustion engine to work, and that is air, fuel, and some form of ignition. Forced induction is just a method of delivering more air into the cylinder, which means you can add more fuel into the cylinder, which basically just means you're going to get a bigger bang and therefore more power. This increase in air pressure is just achieved by some sort of air compressor, and over the years, more and more manufacturers have been using forced induction so that they can downsize their engines and still make the same amount of power. A supercharger is just a mechanically driven air compressor, so it does take some energy from the engine to run it. But as you don't have to wait for exhaust gases to spool a turbine like you do in a turbocharger, the response is instant. Now there are loads of different types of superchargers, but on an MX-5 I've only ever seen one type of supercharger, and that's a centrifugal type of supercharger. So first up is Gary's car. Now Gary's car features a Corten Miller supercharger. Now this is a Rotarex based design, and as far as I can see online, these are making about 300 horsepower and about 300 Newton meters of torque. As always, thank you very much to all the owners of these clips for letting me use them. I'm going to link all of these videos and the owners' channels down below in the description box, so you can watch the full length videos just by clicking their links in the description box below. Please remember to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and turn all your notifications on so that you'll never miss my videos. I can tell that that's got some sort of forced induction on it. It just sounds angrier. It doesn't sound naturally aspirated. You can tell there's air being forced into that engine. It makes a raspier note, it makes an angrier note, as well as you can hear ever so slightly that supercharger belt whining. Okay, so that sounds like it's got some sort of flat foot shifting tune on it. It sort of rev matches it. Yeah, can you hear that? Like, as it's flying towards you. Oh. 3, 2, 1, go! Oh. See, that hits 60 in second gear. And that change, you can see that flat foot shifting that I'm talking about. It hardly loses any revs on that gear change. For me, a supercharger makes perfect sense for a track car. You want that linear response, you want the fat torque curve, doesn't get the heat inside the engine bay like a turbocharger would. Next up, we're going to look at some turbocharged cars. Now, a turbocharger works by using the exhaust gases, the waste gases from the exhaust, to drive a turbine, which in turn drives an impeller, which sucks more cold air in and then forces it into the cylinder under pressure. As a turbo is effectively making energy from waste, it's a much more efficient system. Now this car features a open downpipe, so there is no exhaust system. It's just a tube coming off the hot side of the turbo and then just straight out into the atmosphere. Spicy. Yeah, this thing is shifting. Oh. Very burbly. Oh, you can hear that spool. Right, so you could really hear that turbo spooling, especially in the end of that last clip. Now I think that's probably down to a very good intake and that open downpipe where you can really hear what's going on. So Turbo Mio's NC is using a Garrett GT2871R, and I think he's running about 1 bar of boost in this video, and I also am led to believe that this engine has forged internals. Oh. I think that's the wastegate you can hear there where it's fluttering every time he changes gear. I love that sound, and It's awesome that he can hear that inside the cabin. I'd love a car that sounded like that. You can also see he's got a little boost gauge on his dash, and that thing is shifting. Next up, this is another 1.8 car. So these cars are obviously smaller capacity than my car, but because they're boosted, they're making a lot more power. This car is using a Mitsubishi TD04 Turbo, which is quite a common swap inside the MX-5 world. This is running 0.7 bar. Yeah, it's quicker than my car, as you're about to see. There's a whine in that, almost like a transmission whine, but I'm not sure that would be a transmission whine. Weird. Yeah, obviously it's working pretty efficiently anyway, and that is obviously quite a quick car, and he's driving it quite quickly. I love the hazards as well. Just make safety first. So next up is CZero Media. A lot of you might know him. He has a very good YouTube channel. I recommend going and checking that out after you've watched this video. This is a company called Fab9 Tuning. So this video features a 2.5 litre engine MX-5, so that's one that's been engine swapped, and then a Fab9 EFR kit strapped onto that. This is estimated at 400 horsepower using a Borg Warner 6758, and it's running 0.75 bar or 11 psi, something like that. Oh, those shifts. They're rapid. So you hear that blow-off valve. I'm pretty sure it's a blow-off valve go every time he's letting off the throttle. That's the exact same as what that wastegate was doing earlier. It's just venting that pressurized air into the atmosphere, and they sound really cool.
Nice, come on, man.
And then the backfire at the end. Awesome. Go and check CZero Media out, and go and check Fab9 out. Next up we have Lawrence's car. Now this car isn't in this state anymore, but Lawrence makes some cool stuff. He makes some cool powertrains, and he's currently making a very cool powertrain with a K24. Wow! Now this car features, and I'm gonna have to check this, Garrett GTX3071R, and Lawrence says it's making about 364 horsepower. As you can see, this man knows how to build a car, and that's on a stock 2 litre engine. That sounds awesome. It sounds awesome. It sounds like old school, like rally car turbo to me. And it's so fast. He's overtaking those cars like they're not moving. But there are big kahunas there. I've also got a second clip from Lawrence that I think you'd like to see. This is with a built 2.5. This car features forged pistons, billet connecting rods, a dry sump, a ZF gearbox, a twin disc clutch, and there's a lot of work gone into it. Don't think that this thing is built in a week. It's featuring the same turbo with that 60mm turbine as the previous video, so let's have a listen. Obviously he's got power to spare there. So this is the last clip of the day. It's not even an NC. It is an MX-5. It is an NA MX-5, and I've known about this video for a long time and I wanted to show you it. So this is a 5.3 litre L33, which I think is part of the LS family. It's making 720 wheel horsepower with 693 foot-pounds of torque. Special gearbox. It was worth losing a head gasket just for that. Thank you to Ryan for uploading that clip. Judging by the rest of Ryan's videos, he's well on top of building an even faster version of that car. Racers, when they break something, it's just an excuse to make it better. Which would you rather own, a supercharged car or a turbocharged car? I'd love to know. Like I said, all of the links are down below. Thank you very much for watching this video, and yeah, I hope to see you soon. Cheers.